We're back here live at the No State Project at the Fortified Resort in San Diego. It's Libertopia 2014. Definitely check it out. We got a lot of stuff to still get to. Butler Schaefer is going to be speaking as he does. And if you were there at the Freedom Summit in Phoenix at his last talk, my buddy Paul here, that was epic, wasn't it?
It was, and when Ernie finally gets around to releasing the DVDs, you can all enjoy it.
Oh, that's why. That's why I was. Yeah, I'm lucky. I live in Phoenix, and I was able to go there. But welcome back. You've been on the show a few times. Have you been on video yet?
I guess so.
Maybe, maybe. But for those, since you were here earlier, for those who may not be new, and not have heard this, Paul is actually the one. He's real. He's the one that has had a long-standing, supporting the challenge, $5,000.
Yeah,
anybody.
Yeah, the line from Beverly Hills Cop. $5,000. $5,000.
You see, everybody gets his reference.
I gave him the movie title. Okay.
But $5,000, and the challenge is, and this still stands, that if any, you see, we changed it slightly, but it's more precise.
Yeah.
It's still the same thing, because before it was to prove that they were states and citizens, but this goes because it's all based on the same premise that if you're physically in California, let's say, then the Constitution laws apply. So $5,000 to anybody who can show any facts that would prove that argument is true. And how many people have how many people have we had try to take us up on that challenge?
That would be none, Mark.
None. There was actually someone who was on the show a few weeks ago. He wasn't trying to get the $5,000. He was listening to the show, and he's just like, I think I have something. And,
hey, bring it.
And I said, let's do the show. He wanted to send me the information first. I'm like, I don't like having that done. I mean, I want to be out there and if, ambush or whatever you want. I like the impromptu thing. I think if I'm going to set myself out there as knowing anarchism and how the courts function and whatnot, I should not have the information beforehand so that I can formulate a really good response. He sent it anyway, and when I saw it, I was like, ooh, I'm glad this guy's listening to the show, but wow, I would have had more fun if he was a harsh critic like some of the ones. But it was just legal opinion.
Right.
And so you go back into the archives. Nice guy, but he wasn't looking for the money. No one has ever contacted me and said, dude, put that $5,000 up in an escrow account or something. I'm doing it. Okay, but I've never had to call you and say, hey, we got somebody who's got, some facts.
Well, as I say, you've got opinions and you've got facts. All I've ever seen to support the legitimacy of the state is opinions. It's legitimate because we say so. And we got this gun. Okay, that's it.
Right.
That's the whole argument.
Well, Brian, off air, was mentioning what he likes is one of the most effective questions, one with the most impact. And what it was, when I asked the question, if I did business like you government types and forced people to give me money,
that is a brilliant question.
Would you consider me a criminal? What's so beautiful about the question is, and correct me if you guys disagree, if you're doing it publicly, like, all right, does it really need to be answered to make the point? I don't think so. It's great though when they try. I've had them actually say to me, well, yeah, of course. Of course you would be a criminal. You don't have the law. Yeah, but neither do you. Yeah. All they got is good PR. That's it. They've got millions of people who are hoodwinked into the idea that they're somehow legitimate, okay, and that I'm the bad guy if I try to claim my own property, okay. One of the things that it'd be interesting for people to realize, and you gave a talk at Libertopia here, which is already on video and may be available soon. Oh, it will be.
So
if it was from today, it will be.
Yeah.
There'll be multiple versions, but it's going to be available very soon.
But I asked the question. I said, suppose you got up in a courtroom and you said to the guy with the black robe, or the lady, could be female, look, I'm not here on my own, you know, free will, okay? I got a summons which says that bad things will happen to me if I don't appear here, okay? So I'm being called to appear here, okay, and there's only 2 reasons that you could have for calling me here against my will. I want to know, sir or ma'am, which of those 2 reasons it is. Is it because I am being asked to perform on a contract which I have willingly agreed to and failed to live up to the terms of, which would be a legitimate purpose? Or...
Oh, no, you got to finish, but I think...
Okay, finish the question with me. If that's the case, then where's the evidence that there's this contract and that I made the agreement? Okay. Failing that, then the only other possibility I'm being brought here is because I am considered to be someone's property. And you are merely acting in behalf of the claimed owner of me. Which of those 2 is it? And if they can't bring evidence to show that there's a contract they're trying to enforce that I willingly, knowingly agreed to and failed to perform on, then it devolves to the fact that they are considering that I am property.
That's the way we see it.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. But if you're going into court, they're not going to, the way they're going to say, sir, all they can do is, sir, nobody here is treating you as property. You've just been summoned to answer this complaint. Do you plead guilty or not guilty? And we can, move on.
Well,
so what do you?
Of course, you could say, what complaint,
But you see, that's the good concepts. But when we put it into actual practice, may not have the result that you're looking for. Because a lot of it has, you want to just take what they're presenting, and they're not presenting you an argument that you're under contract or that you're there as their, as their property.
Yeah, but they don't even have a verified complaint.
Even if they did, let's say they have a verified complaint like they do here in California, and they have a thing in California that if you request a verified complaint, they're supposed to give it to you. And let's say they're not going to go and say that the order to appear is, okay, because they do.
Well,
how is that evidence, though, that would prove the Constitution laws apply, and that there's any jurisdiction to even hear the complaint? Well,
my point is a verified complaint would consist of someone who actually suffered some actual injury. Okay. And any case that the state brings against you is just a case for disobeying a bureaucrat.
Yes.
So there could be no verified complaint in that case.
Yes, however...
It's a technical legal point, and I agree with you. It's, by itself, it's not going to be that effective. The bottom line is there's no evidence to support the idea that they have any authority whatsoever.
Right. I think that would be more effective going into a city council meeting.
Right.
And putting it that way, because you can actually get into some kind of discussion a lot of times with that. But in court, I don't.
No, look, you're the expert on courtroom stuff. Well, not saying you're giving legal advice.
I give legal. Hey, I'm going to give legal advice as we're going to a break. Don't pay taxes. Don't comply with the tax code. We'll be back here on the No State Project in just a few moments. Don't go away. Libertopia 2014. You got to get some civil disobedience in here.